Greetings again from the No Labels, No Walls Festival from deepest, darkest Finland. Next up, we present Isolation Maybe, which is a song and video written and recorded during the pandemic lockdown. It is a collaboration between musicians with and without learning disabilities and/or autism from Bemix. Recorded remotely using Zoom recordings, audio clips recorded on phones and online platforms such as bandlab, Isolation Maybe sends a powerful message of resilience and hope through difficult times. It aims to raise awareness of the effect that COVID-19 will have on the mental health and well-being of a group of people who are already particularly susceptible to experiencing mental health problems. Go to the No Labels, No Walls website for the video and Q&A in Zoom.
Isolation is dark. I feel so depressed. I want to see the outside world again.
Home is waiting.
Wherever I go.
Wherever I go.
Beneath a bright blue sky,
A bright blue sky.
sun will always shine.
Trees will always grow. Trees will always grow. Isolation maybe. Isolation hazy. Isolation crazy. Isolation maybe we'll see each other again. People living in boxes on a computer screen.
Talking on Zoom again.
Lifting my mood. Lifting my mood.
Lifting my mood.
Lifting my mood.
Lifting my mood.
I look back with my family. We'll write a song together.
This is why it's stopped. The music.
Oh, give me isolation blues. Isolation maybe. Isolation hazy. Isolation crazy. Isolation maybe we'll see each other.
Bye-bye.
Again.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Real viral killer, but we'll be alright. Plum tomatoes and avocados, a marrow with a bow and arrow, yeah. Bow and arrow. Things will start to flow before long. Below seems so shallow, like a lockdown ghost town, like a lockdown ghost town. We are being strong.
Oh, we're being strong.
We are being strong.
Being strong.
Strong.
We are being strong.
We are being strong.
We are being strong. Isolation, maybe. Isolation, hazy. Isolation, crazy. Isolation, maybe we see each other. See each other again.
Welcome to the No Labels, No Walls plus We Are One 2020. My name is Markus Vähälä, coming live from Finland. So if it's morning or evening or night, we are always open. So there's programs coming from Monday to Saturday, 15 hours a day. So please check out the program from www.nolabelsnowalls.net. The wonderful song that we just heard was Isolation Maybe, coming from Bemix. And now we have the opportunity to have a very nice discussion with the Bemix gang here on No Labels, No Walls Festival. So welcome Steve Perry, Poppy Colley, and everybody from Bemix. Nice to have you on the program.
Hey, hello.
Yourself. Yeah, it's really good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah,
And,
thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for anyone who's dropping in. If
And that's Sam Bernard behind him as well.
yeah, that's right, Poppy. We've also got Sam Bernard in the area,
Behind it was Malcolm.
and we have Gerard Norton.
Hi everybody, I think you met me earlier on.
Yeah. And yeah, Jez and Sam were also involved in the writing, the recording of the song and the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. First of all, Poppy, did you want to introduce yourself and say a little bit about who you are, what you do?
Hello, my name is Poppy and I'm a music student from Bemix at Music and Arts Project.
And Sam?
Yes, I'm Sam Barnard. I'm also from Bemix. I do a radio show on Mondays. I do catering on a Tuesday, and I do whiskey business on a Friday.
Yeah, Risky Business Out Performing Arts Group, and Jez.
Yes, I've been going skiing it for quite a long time. That's why I've got grey hair.
A bit like me, mate.
No, I've been there for about 20 years. I was the first one there, but it's quite a good thing, and like you learn loads of stuff like how to use computers and all that, and digital art and all that kind of stuff, and photograph.
Yeah.
And something about sorry to say this, Sam Bernard has been in Casualty. Do you know Casualty? Anybody? What?
And the business of Mr. Wiltshire.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. I think you've hit on something really important there, Jez, because during those introductions, Poppy, Sam, and yourself, Jez, all missed out a real key thing about what else you do, and that is, Sam, you're a professional actor.
I am indeed, yeah.
Yeah, and you've had loads of parts on TV, film, radio.
Yeah, theatre.
Yeah, and theatre as well, of course. Yes. Poppy, you're also a songwriter.
I am a songwriter. I write my own songs, write my own album. Yes.
Yeah. And Jez, you're a DJ.
Yeah, I'm a DJ to my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, there are three key things about you that you know that because at Bemix, it's about what people can do. You know, we tend to sort of move away from the whole sort of disability approach. You know, we don't consider people to be disabled. It's about people being abled and people sort of like working with people to realize the skills that they do have. And, you know, we have Sam, a very skilled actor, Poppy, a skilled songwriter, and Jez, a skilled DJ. And I think that's a kind of at the heart of what Bemix is about. Yeah. We have many projects, including catering, drama, music, people involved in woodwork. We have a supported internship scheme where we work with young people to gain work placements and skills for the workplace. So yeah, a lot of things that we work with people to sort of try and enable them and realise the skills that are inherent within them. Poppy, would you like to say a little bit about how Isolation Maybe came about? And we'll talk a bit about that, and then we'll open it up if people have questions. We'll waffle on for a little bit longer.
Okay. Isolation Maybe is a name of the title. It came across from other people. The people's from disabilities that I care about, like Down syndrome, autistic people. Yeah.
Yeah, it came about because we was put into a situation, as was everyone, where we were suddenly faced with we could not meet up in person. We couldn't. Our groups just they had to close down due to the pandemic. It happened back in March, and we just moved everything we do online, basically. So we was working remotely. So we was running sessions on Zoom, telephone calls, you know, and we on our phones, yeah. And we started a songwriting workshop. I've been delivering songwriting workshops for some time now, which we usually do face to face with people. But we thought, well, let's give it a go, do it over Zoom. So we've done a songwriting workshop, and the way we came about with the lyrics is that the approach I take within a songwriting workshop would be for people just to contribute completely randomly a line each, and it could be about absolutely anything, just anything, taking inspiration from what they can see outside, from the way they're feeling, from a story they might want to tell, completely open. And as people were kind of typing in their lines to the chat box in Zoom, they were all making sense. No one knew what everyone else was doing. Only I could see the words come in. And they came in almost as they appear in the song, in that order. I think we kind of juggled a few of them around. And it was just remarkable how it happened, completely sort of random, but in total synchronicity. And it appeared, you know, it was evident that there was a theme behind these lines that people were writing, that they're coming in. And it was about isolation and coping with that isolation in such a difficult time, but with a real message of hope and resilience. Did you want to pick up on that, Jez and Sam, because you both contributed to the writing of it as well?
Yes, I did it with a music group on a Monday. I was meant to do a radio show, instead of being the postponed because of it. The music group in Dover did sort of a workshop. So we added our sounds to it, just the music group and being heard group, bullying people took part in it too. So we decided to write them some sing sounds on it as well.
Yeah. So that that was during the recording of it. So that's taking it on to the next stage, isn't it, Sam? So we had this song. The melody and the chords to the song, they also came about quite randomly during the songwriting workshops, where people were just sort of, you know, in the chat box just suggesting what chords should be in the song, and we pieced it all together. And then came the recording, where we done it, as Sam's just said, entirely over Zoom, and recording, you know, I recorded the guitar on my phone. I've got no microphone here. Someone else called Sam, who's another part of our music and arts project, she recorded her guitar over her phone and on Zoom. Sam was part of we called them the Dover Choir, didn't we, Sam?
Yeah.
So they recorded all their vocal parts over Zoom. How did you do your vocals, Jez? What did you record on?
I've got a tablet I do my recording on, and like I think you just press red and like hope for the best.
So yeah, you recorded on a tablet.
Yeah,
and I know we also used a platform which is an online sort of kind of cloud-based platform called BandLab, where so we was able to kind of sequence it in BandLab and add in some drums in that, and then I took it all into Cubase to finish it up. So it was a real collaborative real collaborative effort. I think in total there must have been about 29 30 people involved in the writing and the recording of the song, from all over our groups. And that's another thing about Bemix is how we work, and we use something called, we follow a model called co-production, which is everyone working together on an equal basis. So everyone has a say, and everyone puts something in to get something out. We all work together. What about the video? Do you want to talk a bit about the video, Poppy?
Yeah. The video.
How did we record the video?
We recorded the video with mobile phones by using phones. You can use headphones where you record your voice or instrument what you're going to do with it, like singing or rapping. So I did rapping and talking on the song Isolation Maybe, which I'm good at.
You are?
Yes.
Yeah. Because some of the video was recorded using Zoom. So during a Zoom call, we found out that you can actually hit on a little icon that says record, and it records the whole call. And so we sort of recorded the video using that. But you also used your phone, didn't you, Poppy?
Yes, I did. I used my phone and I transferred it to my laptop, which I've got, and I gave it to Steve Perry, and I did the video with retransfer. So I did that to Steve, so he's got them all, so we can put it into the video.
Yeah. So you recorded a really nice sequence out in your garden, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then once you recorded it, edited it a bit and sent it over. So as I say, everything from the writing, the recording, the video, it was all done remotely without anyone seeing each other, which to some degree was quite difficult, that we couldn't see each other. But I think the message of the song was all about sort of like a hope when we will see each other again. I must admit, during the whole editing of the video, I got quite emotional several times, because it was, you know, it was quite difficult to do, because yeah, we're all sort of kind of we've seen each other on a weekly basis, and all of a sudden none of us could see each other except over Zoom. So yeah, it was quite tough, but at the same time, just such a good thing to be a part of. And yeah, and that's what we'd really like to bring on, is about sort of the whole message behind the song. And it is about resilience, it is about hope, and it is about sort of like realizing that we'll all get through this together. And I think the refrain in the song, "We are being strong," kind of underpins that. Has anyone got any questions they'd like to ask? And Poppy, Sam, Jez and myself will try to answer them as best we can. I think we've given a kind of sort of like overview on how the idea came about and how we put everything together, and the message behind the song. And if anyone's got some questions or would like to open it up to discussion, that'd be brilliant.
Marcus, we have
Hi, Marcus.
Bernadette, Thomas, and Dominic. I don't know if you're still here from Los Angeles. They work with us. They have people on the spec. But Dominic, do you have any questions, or Bernadette? Because we do similar stuff. I just thought maybe you want to connect.
Yeah, we do then. Yeah, because this is the whole purpose of this, isn't it? About connecting with each other and seeing how we can. Yeah, tell us about what you've all been involved in then.
Oh, Bernadette, you want to say something?
Well, just it's so funny, the things you're saying that you are going through with the Zoom. I'm sure at this point everyone is so zoomed out.
Yeah.
You wish the word was never invented. But I think it's like a beautiful thing that it's there, because imagine how disconnected we would still be. And then I think I work with the organization that provides services and pays for a lot of services in the state of California for developmentally disabled. And I have a son, Thomas, who you met in the Magic, if you saw that. It's, you know, I want to say that I think that it's such a universal struggle with what we're going through. And I know everybody's going through something, but I think what's great is it's almost dared us to think, it's pushed us and dared us to think beyond what we know. And I think that's like, if we look back on these things, because I was listening to the previous one, it was like we need to pause and think and go forward after we take that breath. And I think this is almost like a breath, to be able to look and see, where are we going? And I think that what you're doing is excellent. I think it's so similar to what we're doing with the Strindberg group. And you know, I just think back to the Spanish flu that they had in like 1918, of like, oh my goodness, what did they do? They were probably sitting in the corner rocking by the end of the flu, just because, what do you do? So I think this is really so great, and I really enjoyed the video, and I think what a feat to have pulled that all together. So kudos to you for the editorial, because it was just incredible.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Yes, appreciated. And yeah, you kind of right there by saying we're all zoomed out, but it is about sort of like, yeah, looking at how sort of like technology can be used to bring people together still. I mean, this is a prime example, isn't it, where we've got people from all over the world in on communicating together, sharing the same ethos, and you know, hopefully laying foundations for future work together. you know, and we're sort of like so remote. It's just sort of like pretty amazing, really. And I think it is about taking the positives out of all of this and seeing where we can move forwards with it. You're right. Yeah, go on, Jez.
Without Zoom, I'd be stuck without Zoom, because when the first lockdown came, I was like panicking. I couldn't like speak to all my friends, Ryan, and all that kind of stuff. I use Zoom for quite a lot of stuff, but I think Zoom's it's the future for now until whenever. I don't know if anybody agrees with me, but
I think Zoom has really been great and all of the resources with it. But I think that I know that at this point we're all ready to, when we can, reconnect. And I think that that's at least I know that in my house, that's where we're at. And in our organizations, we miss being with our families that we work with. We really miss that. So this is so awesome to be able to do this and connect. So thank you all so much.
Bernadette, for that future, so when this is over, what kind of collaboration could you do with Bemix? I would like to hear a little bit more about what do you do with Strindberg Laboratory?
Well, my son Thomas, who you saw on the Magic, has been a part of Strindberg for a couple of years with some different productions that they've done with another organization out here in Los Angeles called FACT. And it's been a really nice opportunity to kind of, it's like now that we're done with school, it's like, it's given us connections to what we love, drama, connecting with people, finding what makes us tick. And it's been a great opportunity for creativity and stretching ourselves more. I think that opportunities to just exchange what's going on is great. I am always happy to share information with our organization, and we actually have a number of regional centers in our area. There are 21 in the state and there are 7 in Los Angeles. So I certainly think it's a great opportunity to exchange what people are doing, and certainly Strindberg, I would imagine Michael is loves to share what we're doing.
Yeah. And you know what I'll do, Bernadette and Steve? I'll send you guys an introduction email. So that way, because you know what Marcus is saying is so true. It's like that song that you created, Steve, like it should be shared with people in LA. You know, what you all created, like it's really, really great. And I think it brings a lot of hope, and you know, we're kind of all in this together. So you know, hopefully I'll write an introduction. Hopefully, Bernadette, maybe you can share with your network, and then, you know, we can start something going. You know, that'd be great.
Mr. Prime Minister, if you think the future of No Labels, No Walls, so how do you link Bemix into your strategy?
Oh, Marcus, you put me on the spot there. I really think it's great. It's absolutely wonderful. To link it into a strategy, I think it would be absolutely amazing to find out more about them and really to dig in and see, you know, how we can support them and help them become big and really help them succeed. Because watching the song, I was just about in floods of tears. It's just absolutely amazing to see it.
Mr. Daniel Palmer, from across the room, what kind of ideas do you have of the collaboration and Bemix action?
It's a good question. Good question, Max. Yeah. Well, it obviously seems quite a similar thing. So I'm sure it's very innovative, isn't it? So yeah, I'm sure there's some common ground to be found there. Yeah. I was just wondering with Sam, like, what were you doing on Casualty? Because Casualty in England is a hospital drama. So I'm quite interested to, because I've actually seen Sam on TV before. On I don't know. Okay, Sam, I think you need to, there we go.
I know something keeps on muting me. Well, Custody started in the 80s, in 1986. I've been in it since, what was it, 2017. And one of the things I needed to do was being pale and throwing up some blood. And I put somebody on a rake. That's what actually happened.
It always happens on Casualty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's always that type of thing. So maybe like Sam can teach some acting or something like that. Give an acting masterclass. Would you fancy that, Sam?
Yes, I did send a message to Steve Perry on Messenger to do a workshop on TV. So I'm waiting for Steve. Yes, I know. So I'm waiting for Steve to come back to message me.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, you can go for it, Sam. You don't need my permission for it, do you?
Well, I do because I have to.
No, you don't. I mean, you can. I know you're going to be running. I just want to point out as well with Sam is a paid member of our workforce. He attends our music project and our catering project, but he's also a paid member of the workforce as a supporter with our performing arts project, our drama project, and he's involved in running sort of like workshops as part of that. But Sam, I think it'd be a great idea to sort of like link up with Daniel and whoever else and run some acting workshops.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Steve. Steve, I'm going to bed now. Sorry, I'm a bit tired.
All right then, Jez.
Yeah.
Good to see you, mate.
Jez, I don't blame you.
Man
after my own heart. Yeah.
I'll see you later on, Jez.
See you, Jez.
Bye.
Steve,
yeah.
Could you tell the history of Bemix? What's the story behind it?
I can. I'll tell you, the best person to tell the history of Bemix is the person who's just left us. Jez.
Okay.
Sam, go for it. Go for it.
Longest person. I'm the second longest person in Bemix. It used to be called the Skillnet group because there's a place called the Skillnet group. So we changed our name to Bemix. It's called Be Seen, Be Heard, Belong. And it's all about co-productive, as Steve said. We all work together as a group, put up projects, and we do all sorts of stuff. There's a drama workshops, there's doing some workshops on wood, school projects, also, and we do a lot of coursework, and some people do radio shows that's on Sundays. That used to be at 9 to 9:30. Now at 12 to 1. That's the audio box on Sundays, and we do lots of stuff. And we also do a pop-up cafe as well. That's not happening at the moment because of a virus. That's what we do in Bemix Skillnet.
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. That's it. So Skillnet started in 2001. That's right, Sam. And Jez was involved from the very beginning in shaping what it was to become. Started off with the music project first of all, and it just kind of grew from there around East Kent.
And then I joined in 2005.
Yeah, and I joined in 2000 and, well, I can't remember. I've been here about 12, 13 years now, I think.
Yeah, I think mine's about
2008,
14.
I think.
Mine's
And
about
Poppy,
14, 15.
yeah, Poppy, you've been with us you've been here for quite a long time as well, haven't you?
I think with music and that's what I think I was been in 10 years ago, I think. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
about that, maybe a bit more. Because you've got part of what we do is courses as well, and you've got a level 1 and a level 2 qualification in music production, haven't you? And music performance.
Level 2 is music skills, level 2
Yeah,
is doing a music video.
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, Poppy helped me with my music video too. Went to the Iowa David group on a Monday. She helped me with my song as well.
Hey?
Yeah.
No.
You did?
Did I?
I remember that. I've still got the recording of it.
What recording I thought?
Of Sam's song.
Yeah. I
What
like a
sound?
number 1, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
I'll send you a copy, Poppy, later. Not later today, but tomorrow I'll dig it out and email it over. Yeah. Yeah, we changed our name to Bemix about 2 years ago. I'm not going to go into the big detail about why that happened. Oh, you can if you want. But we kind of rebranded. There was another organisation in England called Skillnet, and it was just getting a bit confusing. So we rebranded as Bemix, but with the same ethos, the same sort of belief in people working together. You know, the idea is that we want as many people as possible to see the work that people are involved in, see their talents, and you know, everyone in Bemix that I know, you know, have got so many talents. There's one guy who's part of our project called Eco Shed, which is a woodwork shop, who is an outstanding wood carver. The creations he's out of wood that he's making are just sort of like mind-blowing, absolutely fantastic. And people deserve to see this, and people deserve that for their work to be shown and to be heard. I mean, our tagline is "Be seen, be heard, be seen, be heard, belong."
Belong.
That's it.
Be heard to belong.
Yeah.
Be seen is seeing other people. Be heard is hearing people's voices. Belong is where you belong.
Belong with anonymity.
Yes.
On your website, you have a you're telling about the campaigns you are having with Bemix.
Yeah.
What kind of campaigns do you have at the moment? You have had?
One at the moment, a big one is called Right to Home, and that's a that's a campaign that we got. There's secure mental health units in England, where people with autism have been kind of locked up and denied the right to home visits, and you know, denied the right to home life and family life, really. And we're just sort of like trying to sort of keep it on the agenda, if you like, you know, make sure that people are still aware. There was a Panorama documentary about a year or so ago, where it exposed some horrific abuse going on in one of these places, and we don't want people to forget that.
No. And there's another campaign that I started up. It's a schools campaign called Being Seen, Being Heard. I started it all up until I left, and the schools budget is still going strong at the moment, isn't it, Steve?
It is, yeah. Although it's not called Schools Project anymore, is it? We call it BC.
Heard,
Yeah. Do you want to say a little bit about that then, Sam? What you do?
Being heard. It's about going to schools, about being bullied. I got bullied once at college, so I thought it's a good idea to do a project about bullying. So I said to one of my colleagues, Liz, to do a project about it. So we went to schools and we did a little quiz and did a presentation about bullying, and that's how it all started from.
Yeah, and it's something you've been involved with, yeah, for quite some time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know you even brought,
anyway, so.
Yeah, you even brought that into acting, didn't you? Because there was a film that you made about that as well.
Yeah, I did two brilliant anti films. One called Brilliant for You, that's not on YouTube anymore. But there's one called See My Ability that is also on YouTube now. And Bemix did do short films like Low and High and Reporting Crime as well.
Yeah, there are a couple of films that we've made, aren't they? Sort
yeah.
Of like, yeah. Another thing that we're just kind of starting up is trying to, well, we're kind of sort of like piloting some counselling provision for people with learning difficulties. We recognise that people with learning difficulties and autism can be quite susceptible to mental health challenges, and particularly with the pandemic, that's going to, has the potential of becoming a lot worse. And trying to get sort of counselling through a GP could take a while. There's huge sort of like waiting lists. So we're piloting like counselling provision for people. So we've got some funding to help that happen, and when we recorded the song that you've seen, Isolation Maybe, we decided we thought it was good enough to release, so we decided to release it digitally, and all proceeds from the sales of that is also going to go towards providing support. Mental health support.
Never made the charts yet. It never made the charts.
It didn't make the charts yet, Sam. No, but we could use the word "yet" there and underline it, because there's always the chance, But it's not just about getting it into the charts. It's about raising the awareness, isn't it? And it'd be brilliant if lots of people logged onto a digital online store that they usually go to and download it, and it gets in the charts. That'd be fantastic. But it was still, whether it gets in the charts or not, it's still a worthwhile thing to do. It's raising awareness.
You are very active with these appeals and campaigns. How is the collaboration going on in your area? How are you collaborating with the community and other organizations?
Yeah, well, we sort of develop partnerships with other like-minded organisations in East Kent. We've had some really good partnership work with organisations such as Music for Change. They're based in Canterbury, where we've worked with young people with learning difficulties and autism on music projects. There's an organisation that we really want to partner with, that we're in contact with, like friends of ours in Brighton, called the Stay Up Late campaign. They're also involved in Gig Buddies, and I know they've been part of this festival as well. So we're in contact with them with a view to partnering with doing a music project with them as well. So partnership working is a big thing. We can't do things in isolation. You can, but it's better to do it with other people who are on the same page, isn't it? So yeah, it's a big part of what we do, developing those partnerships. And yeah, I look forward to sort of seeing how, you know, as a result of this, what other partnerships can be developed on a, you know, not just a localized scale, but an international scale. I find that quite exciting.
Yeah, I think, Steve, what you said about the mental health a pilot project, that sounds like really important, I would say, and maybe it hasn't been focused on so much before, from what I know. How far along is that pilot, or is there...
Yeah, it's a good question. It's only a couple of months in, really, if not that. Funding was only secured recently. We've got funding up until, well, I think it's a 9 months funding, I believe, and we'd be looking to extend that. We're kind of sort of like we're acting as a bit of a conduit, I suppose, like a bridge between people within Bemix and accessing counsellors. So it's free counselling. People aren't charged for it. It's all funded through. Yeah, we got some funding from Kent Community Foundation, and also, you know, if the money that's raised from the downloads for this single won't be a great deal, but that'll go towards it as well. And it would be something that we, yeah, would look to continue, and also not make it just for people within Bemix, but extend it to other organisations that we know in East Kent, such as East Kent MenCap, and, you know, just open up that provision, because I think it could still have a real serious impact. I mean, people have talked about sort of the second wave of coronavirus, but we also need to talk about sort of like a potential wave of the challenges of like sort of like mental health challenges that people will face or have faced and will continue to face. So we've got to talk about that as well.
Well, maybe it would be good to learn more about that in the future, I guess, because maybe it could be replicated here if it's, yeah, you can see.
You need to stay indoors.
Sorry, Poppy?
You need to stay indoors.
You need to stay indoors.
So you need to stay indoors, but I don't keep seeing people, my friends.
Yeah.
I wear masks all the time.
Yeah,
Mr. Prime Minister, do you have a comment or question?
Yeah, a bit of a comment and a bit of offer of help. Steve, as Vice Chair of Stay Up Late Scotland, if I can be of any help with Stay Up Late, please do get in touch. You know, I know that Paul Richards personally and Darren, who both are quite high up in Stay Up Late, so just get in touch. You know, we'll easily help you get a foot in the door. And same with Gig Buddies, we know Gig Buddies in Scotland, and I'm a national Stay Up Late ambassador, so I can help you there, and anything you need with, just give us a shout.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, thank you. Because it is, you know, it is, I've been in contact with Paul over the past couple of months, and yeah, I recognise how sort of like so many organisations were doing so many great things through the lockdown. And I know the Stay Up Late campaign had their coronavirus fest that where it just went on throughout the whole lockdown, which must have taken an amazing amount of work and such energy that was put into that. It was fantastic. And it's just about now sort of like everyone who's on the same page, just, yeah, looking at ways that we can work together and do some real positive stuff.
Stay Up Late Scotland has got a massive night on Saturday night at the end of Citizen Fest and at the end of No Labels, No Walls Festival.
Right. That's the all-night party sort of thing, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Party.
I think it's not going to happen because of the virus.
There's going to be DJs from how many countries?
I think we've got 5. I think we've got Finland, Scotland,
Los
England,
Angeles.
and we've got one from Los Angeles.
Dominic.
Oh, America.
I did a dating program. I don't know if you've heard of it, called Undateables.
Yes, I know Undateable, Sam.
There's a program, a dating program called the Undateables that I was in. That's got people with learning difficulties. Trying to get past labels as well. And one time I went to Finland to do the Undateables there, and it's based in the UK on Channel 4. It's not on anymore.
Yeah, I've seen you on that, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, with your dad. Your dad seems very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have 10 minutes left in our discussion. So I would like to hand the mic over to you, Bemix gang. What would you like to ask from us?
Yeah, I would like to ask. I mean, I understand this is the second year of this festival, and what would the plans be for a third year of the festival? Because this is quite different running a festival online, but from what I can gather and from what I've seen, it's been very successful with its aims of, you know, just bringing people together. How would you see the festival continue next year? In what sort of format would that take?
The virus goes away, actually. I think.
What was that? Sorry, Poppy?
I think the virus would go away. I think next year. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's hope so. And that's the. Yeah. So if it does, how would the festival remain online, or is there kind of plans for it to happen somewhere where people can actually get together and meet in real time, if you like?
I think there's no theatres, no bands playing, because there's no audience.
Yeah, but next year.
Next year is going to be good, but
Yeah.
I think
And this is to do with Bemix people as well. Not just us, like me, Jeff and Puppy and you, Steve. We've got more Bemix people in general as well that needs to be did it as well.
Yeah.
One thing we know that Bemix will going to be on the next festival. That's for sure.
I would love to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Because I've got a lot of things to say, actually, off my mind.
You were talking about co-production.
Yeah.
So let's co-produce the next festival. So I hand my mic over to Bernadette there in California. What kind of ideas do you have in your area?
Well, I know that Thomas would love to go to Finland. So we'd have to start working on our magic tricks now if that were the case. I agree, Poppy, the virus has to be gone so we can travel. But I think this has been a great format for people who can't travel. And I just think getting it out there again, word of mouth, posting the different events during the year so you could refer people to it to get them interested and tell them about it. It's great. It's been great.
And next to Amanda, what do you think that what could be the future of No Labels, No Walls Festival be like?
You've put me on the spot. Well, I participated last year. I did a presentation. It was my first time standing up speaking in front of people, and I found it quite tiring because I have physical conditions. So I think that online next year, I would like to do another presentation online next year if they did, maybe even part in person and some online. So kind of expanded it to both possibilities.
That's great.
Do it on a
That's
massive
great.
scale.
Yeah.
Good idea.
What about the Prime Minister?
I think next year, since we didn't get our joint Citizen Fest Stay Up Late / No Labels, No Walls festival in person, I think you guys should come to the UK. I think you should come to Scotland. Have a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Let's have a week-long festival. You know, I think John Dalrymple and Francis will shoot me for saying this. But let's have a week-long festival. If we can do it online, we can do it in person. Anything's possible.
It is.
Dominic, what kind of ideas do you have for the next year's festival?
Hi, this is Elizabeth. And I think I agree with the Prime Minister. I think let's keep it going and let's go somewhere else next year. I think that so far so good. It's exciting to see the perspective of having a third year and keep this going. We were in Finland, Dominic and I and Monique last year. We loved it. And it would be awesome to just do both. Maybe you can, we can do this for those who can't participate in person, but also it would be so nice to be in person and have the communities come together because, I, as a parent of 2 children on the spectrum, and their wide range in the spectrum, where one was not supposed to speak and the other one was not supposed to have the ability to learn. I really did most of my learning from other parents when I share. I now lead a lot of support groups, and I also do a lot of peer support partnering where people get the first diagnosis. They can call and I can walk them through what to expect, not only from the systems that provide resources, but also from the schools, and how to navigate all those resources that are desperately needed to be activated in order for people with developmental disabilities to be able to access those resources. So in person would be great. And also through this idea of using Zoom for those who can't make it in person, I think both are very doable and both would be great. But yeah, definitely I am all for keeping the festival going year after year after year. I think it's been really great for us. Thank you. Oh, and I also wanted to make a comment about you saying, Steve, about disabilities. I myself have built on the idea that it's differently abled, and that's all it is. And
yeah,
we all can find strengths in every individual, and we can build on those strengths. And that's really been my focus, is find where those strengths are and build on those. And one of the strengths for my children has been acting, because it's been better than social skills in order for them to really understand because being on the spectrum, sometimes social interaction was so difficult, but with acting, it puts them in a skit where all of a sudden they go, oh, that's what dating is about. And so we build on that. So we all have strengths, we identify them and we build on that. And that's what's helped us a lot.
Yeah.
And
thank you very much for all the comments. We are moving on with the schedule. The next show is going to be soon. I would like to thank very warmly all the Bemix gang, Steve, Poppy, Sam, everybody. We are so glad that you participated the No Labels, No Walls festival, and like said, this is a starting point. So now we know where we are heading.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and it's been great to meet everyone. Really has, and I look forward to see what we can. Yeah, it's been brilliant, and yeah, really look forward to seeing what can develop out of this.